Hello, everybody. What a tiny little quiet hello that was. I just wanted to make sure that my collar is correct. Like it feels weird, maybe because I put the microphone here and now it's confusing me. I'm also sitting on top of my phone. Oh. I've got the energy of a cactus today. What is that energy, you might ask? I don't know. I guess it's prickly, but it's also very self-assured. It's like, oh, I have enough water in me to live for eternity. Unless Emily Milling's taking care of me, in which case I would be dead. This is not going how I planned it would, so this is kind of a wake-up call for me. I really gotta hydrate, man. Anyway, whatever. Welcome to Creativity is Cool with me, your host, Emily Milling. I'm doing a lot of weightlifting lately. Fucking love that shit, man. Like, check out my fucking this one. The muscles. Listen, if you're listening to this on the podcast version, you gotta check out the video, because like, so many muscles is a little bit ridiculous. So I've got a short sleeve shirt on. Energy of a cactus today. Who the fuck knows what's going on? Anyway, I had a really rough fucking week. I don't even know where to begin. But I had a lot of realizations during last week. Most importantly, that I really need to make stuff funny for you to feel good and laugh. And that's literally it. And if I could be paid in laughs, I would be so rich. Because then, like, it's all I want to do is just, like, make people laugh. My friends are messaging me. They need a giggle. They're gonna have to wait. So, what are we talking about today? It's a great question, because I made zero plans. The only plan was to just show up right here, right now. I was starting a song last week. Oh. If you're new to this, Creativity is Cool is a podcast by me, your host, Emily Milling, where I talk about my creative process while I write a comedy album that I got a grant for. It's $1,000 and I don't know how I'm going to do any of it because it is scary to me to put myself out there. So therefore, I'm doing this vlog to document the whole thing and see if I can get any inspiration out of it. So anyway, last week, I was working on a song. I got this really great tune down. It was friggin' awesome. And it's supposed to be a song about not taking advice for like really obvious things that you should probably take the very obvious advice for. When I tell you, I have not written a single lyric since the first little batch of lyrics I wrote, I would be telling the truth. I don't really know how to phrase that. That came out weird. Whatever. Moving on. The point of this is I've had a rough week creatively. It felt like I was like going on an upward swing. I was going upwards and then I just came crashing down. And it bothers me because I really just want to like get shit out there. I just want to fucking make people laugh. I think like it feels like every time I get really excited about something creatively, I find a way to like either destroy it or like something blocks me. Maybe this is just a test. Or not. I don't know. It's me testing myself even. I don't know. Maybe this is just like something, as always, that we gotta work through this shit in our lifetime to become the versions of ourselves we were always meant to be, my lovey love loves. And I'm pretty sure I'm meant to be the kind of person that just like gives you a lot of positive energy and happiness, even if it's cactus energy today. And that has not been an accurate reflection of my past week. I just like sat inside. I felt nauseous. I am going through a spiritual awakening, which is just oh so fun. It's very exciting. There's a lot happening in my brain, in my consciousness, in my daily meditations. Sometimes in yoga too. There's just a lot happening. And so it's like I like learn things and then I'm like, is that real? I don't know, probably. That thing's definitely real. Can I have a piece of cheese? And then I have to like integrate the things that I'm learning. when I have a conversation with my life coach, for example, like if I can learn that I still don't feel like I'm good enough or good or anything, what is the next level up or level down that I can apply to get myself to that belief that I want? This is what we talked about today, was like, I, like 5-6 years ago, just straight out full on believed I am a bad person. I'm bad. I am full of shame and guilt. I am doing all the wrong things. I'm making all the wrong choices. These deeply held beliefs that I have about myself, had about myself 5-6 years ago. I worked so friggin' hard on that stuff, man. And it's kind of soul crushing to be like, but I did so much work and you're asking me to do more work? Really? Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess life is just asking me to do yet more work, because here I am and I feel like I'm not bad, but I'm not good. And even when my life coach asked me, do I believe that I'm good enough? I was like, I don't think so. I don't think that's true for me at all. I don't believe that at all about myself. So we got to the point where I believe that I'm okay. I'm okay. Sometimes I'm pretty okay. For now, I'm okay. I'm doing all right, like it's trucking along. And that's good. You know, it's good to like put a name to it, to put like a station on it. In our linear kind of thinking that we have, we being people who are like me, who if you're watching this is probably like you too, like there's like a linear process to things, like my linear process to creating my album that is just not working. And this linear process to like figuring out like, am I good enough? Am I gonna be okay? Can I accept myself finally? A linear process does not work for that either. It's like all these different pieces have to happen all at different times, which is interesting because I have ADHD. And if you've listened to this or watched this ever, you know the thoughts are just going and coming and going. They might come back later. We'll never know until the end of this, at which point we'll know. I still don't know because I'm only halfway through. Now all the thoughts are gone, yet again. What was I talking about? Creativity is not a linear process. Life is not a linear process, although your age would have you believe otherwise, and capitalism. Capitalism! Don't you just love capitalism? I mean, I love stuff. I love buying stuff. I like throwing stuff out. I love selling stuff for more than it's actually worth when people are out of the stuff, like toilet paper. Sidebar, we got a bidet at the beginning of the pando, and like, life changer. You should probably get one. It's not linear. Creativity is not linear. And I think that's pretty true in the songs that I have been writing, because they are like pieces of the songs are done. And then I'll go over to a different song. Then I'll go to this, and I'll come back to this one and do something else over here. I think it's pretty challenging, and Justin DeClue and I have discussed this many times, like it's pretty challenging when you put all your hopes and dreams on one specific thing. Because if creativity isn't if creativity isn't linear, then like making yourself, like forcing yourself to like stay the course on one specific project ongoing is not going to help you. Like at all. So it's good to have a couple of different projects going. Also, like what if you have a project, like let's say you have a film idea, an idea for a movie that you want to write. You pitch it to like tons of different people, like all this stuff, you're getting it going. You're working so hard on the script. You're like, oh, this is going to be life-changing. This is going to make everybody feel so good and great and awesome. Has this been me in the past? Yes, it has. But then what happens if whoever you're pitching this to says like, no, that's not the idea for me. And that's totally valid, right? Because that particular idea may not be for them or their company or whatever. It just has to be like the right people, the right fit, all this stuff in order for things to be created. And it doesn't mean that you're bad at whatever you're putting together. It just means that you really got to have something else on the back burner. I was going to say back stove, like in the cooker. You got to have something in the cooker. You have to have some other projects, some other ideas that you can share with people, that you can work on and develop, because otherwise the one thing becomes all consuming and it's the only thing you could think about. It's really life soul sucking. For more on that, check out the film that I made with Justin Decloux called Impossible Horror. It's great. You can watch it on Vimeo or you can buy the Blu-ray. And there's a documentary on there that I made about the making of Impossible Horror. Oh boy. Anyway, it's about someone who is working on a film. And it's like tunnel vision. It's tunnel vision and that's all she can see. It's sort of like how all I can see is the ring light in front of me and it's creating kind of like a tunnel effect and it's giving me a little bit of a dizzy spell here. Maybe I have tunnel vision. Yeah. I don't have any other creative projects. I mean, I've been saying to Justin, like, we've got to write other films and stuff. And he's like, yeah, we've got all these different ideas. He came up with a bunch of them. So we're working on that now, but I'm not taking a super active role in that particular process at this moment in time because that's really Justin's domain, is like coming up with the outlines for things. Like he is so great at just shaping an entire story and getting it down like a treatment down. And then we can start working on the script. He loves to write on his own. I love writing with him because it's like way more fun for me and I get to be involved in it. But like either way, like I can come in after and that's besides the point. The point is that like I have this project and I'm so like obsessed with getting this comedy album done that I feel like it's creating so much resistance for me because it's like, well, this is the only thing. And if it's not good and if nobody likes it, well, then you're fucked because you just spent all that time working on it. And so then I just go into like defense mode or I don't know, like hermit mode. Like just, I want to curl up and just like hide myself away. I've been watching the new Fresh Prince, Bel-Air. It's really good. In like a Riverdale way. I'm obsessed with it, but it's a distraction to what I'm working on. And I get so mad at myself because like I have this dichotomy, this like never-ending dichotomy in my head. It's like, well, you should be doing this, you should be working on this. And I'm like, but I really want to take time to rest and like get some inspiration from other things because clearly I can't come up with any lyrics for this song and it's been a week. And the other part of me is like, well, just don't put so much importance on it. And I'm like, but it's so important. This is my life's work. I think I just need some other kind of a creative project. Like maybe I gotta just make some more sketches. By the way, if you haven't checked out my sketches, here's a link to my sketches. If you're listening to this, I'll put a link in the show notes for you. So where does that leave me here this week in this process of writing my comedy album? I don't know, man. Like all I can think of is like, I really just want to go outside. I want to go like experience things and I don't want my hands to turn white because I have Raynaud's because I don't know. It's a weird like thing. My whole family has it when it gets cold. All the blood drains from my fingers and then I don't feel my fingers. I don't feel my toes and I'm like, they're gonna fall off. They're gonna fall off. I'm 100% sure my fingers or toes are gonna fall off and then I'm gonna be all unbalanced. I'm not gonna be dexterous anymore. How could I play the piano if my fingers have fallen off? I just had a really shitty thought. It was, well, Emily, you can't really play the piano anyway. And it was not totally untrue. I can't play it the way that classical pianists play the piano. I can play it with my soul. I should probably do like a video about that at some point. But like for me, it's just like I sit down, I start like plunking out a couple of keys, and then my fingers just take it wherever it wants to go. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it's like, oh no. But sometimes it's just like I hit that sweet spot and I'm like, yeah, it just feels good. And it's whatever I'm doing. And that's really nice. And that's like for me. And it's a good creative outlet. So yes, I can play piano, brain, thank you. Just not in the conventional capitalist sense. Fuck the patriarchy. Whatever. Right, the Raynaud's. I don't want to go outside because it's like still cold. It is March, my watch is not telling me the date. It's March 2nd, and it's still very frigid outside, and it's unpleasant. Things are sort of opening back up. I'm not 100% sure if I feel comfortable with that. They just got rid of all the mandates in Ontario, fuck the convoy, and so I'm still apprehensive. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still apprehensive. I don't really know what's out there and what's going on and all that stuff. We are starting the conservatory program back up at Second City next week, next Tuesday. I'm very excited for that because it's like just more fun to play silly games with grown-ups and be really, really okay with that, you know? Just like validate each other's experiences with this wild thing called improv. It's so wild to me how fun it is. It's just so fun. So it sort of feels like until I have that external like input coming to me, I can't create outputs. There's only so much TV that can like inspire me. I've now watched, I feel like all of Netflix, all of Crave, like everything. I feel like I've watched it all. Nothing's really inspiring me anymore because I'm not having those actual physical experiences. I feel like I need those physical experiences in order to regurgitate it into a comedic fashion that is relatable and will make you laugh and enjoy yourself and maybe toot a little bit because you laugh too hard. On the subject of toots, we watched Documental, which is like the Last One Laughing on Prime, but is the Japanese version, is the first season of it. So much butt stuff. So much butt stuff. It's really funny though. So where am I? Where am I on this big, giant, flailing ball, roaming around in outer space? How did I get here? Letting the days go by, water flowing underground. That song gets stuck in my head all the fucking time. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Just thought I'd rickroll you in the middle of this episode. I was talking about a Talking Head song though. Where does it leave me? Where does it, like, what do I do while I feel like I'm like sort of stuck in this like limbo? It feels a little bit like a limbo. I mean, truly, it feels like every time I give you an update, it feels like I'm in a limbo. I get like a little bit further ahead and then I'm like, usually it ends with a fart. Most good things end with a fart. Hopefully that means that this album will end with a fart. Oh, I should probably just like write a fart song. Let's be real. Anyway, I'm hoping that by this time next week, I will have something a little bit more tangible in terms of this song that I've been working on. Maybe a couple of new musical outlines of songs that I want to do. Like once I get it, once I hear it, it's very easy to put the music together. That takes time as well. But once I hear it, it's like, no problem. And lyrics too. Usually lyrics, as soon as I like get on the right path with it, no problem. The song that I'm working on now, the one it's about, the one about advice. It's like there's two separate premises happening. And then there's also at the same time me feeling like, well, I don't want to make fun of anybody. That's not the point of this. So like if I make it about a character who is just a full-on raging idiot, like I feel like I'm making fun of somebody or perhaps me in the past, like when there's very obvious answers to things and I'm just fully ignoring them. I mean, I feel like we all do that. It's just how do I make it so that it doesn't feel like I'm making fun of somebody? This is what I'm up against. Because I don't ever want to make anybody feel alienated unless you are actively working to make other people feel alienated, in which case I will alienate the fuck out of you. Mark my words. But I don't want to make people feel alienated for making silly decisions in the past. Like I did. Like staying in relationships way too long, or like making decisions to not cut out toxic friendships or things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I really I want to help people to feel good and laugh at things without making fun of them. That's the opposite of what I want to do. And I feel like I grew up with comedy that was so deeply entrenched in making fun of other people. Like, it has taken my lifetime to get out of that line of thinking and into the type of thinking that I have now, which is like, make people feel fucking great. Doesn't really matter. But like do it in a way that's relatable and not like directly attacking a particular group of people or a particular type of person or like anything like that. Because I just don't believe in that. Like that's all the bullying and like all of the shit, that I've had in my life really has steered me away from that, thank goodness. But like growing up and watching all the funny things that were funny when I was a kid are real, like it's harmful shit, man. And I don't want to do that. So maybe there's a little bit of that baked into all of this too. Yeah, maybe not the most like uplifting, but what, you know what? Fuck, who cares? Who fucking cares? This is my journal. This is my fucking vlog. So this is fine. It's fine, right? I gotta validate my own friggin' self sometimes also. You know what? Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I really do appreciate you. I really hope that somehow me documenting this and me sharing all of the, like, this word vomit that's coming out of me right now, I really hope that something in here gives you a little bit of inspiration, or maybe an idea, or ways to solve a problem that you're currently facing, or like just anything. I really hope it does. And I also hope that you'll follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I mean, if you do, if you don't, that's totally fine. You know what? Stay connected with me however the hell you want to stay connected with me. Here's how you can stay connected with me. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at emily.milling. Find my website, emily.milling.com. Sign up for my newsletter, emilymilling.com/newsletter. YouTube, where this video is. And also the podcast version of this, wherever you get your podcasts. Anyway. That's it for... There's burp. That's it for now. Thank you so much for dropping by. I love you. I friggin' love you. If you only knew how much I love you. Here, just take some love. Bye!